Whether you already have a private Facebook group and you're trying to figure out how to convert members into clients, or if you're just exploring this path to see if it is a good fit for you and your business, stay till the end because I'm going to cover in detail exactly how I have converted multiple clients into buyers in a short period of time using very simple techniques. What's going on? Welcome to the final episode in this series on creating, growing, and converting private Facebook groups specifically geared towards real estate agents. If you've enjoyed the series so far, make sure you hit subscribe down below, like this video to make sure that I can understand and get a sense of how valuable you find this information. And make sure you hit the notification bell because this is just the first of many series on different tactics I'm going to be sharing and bringing on others who have succeeded in sharing exactly how they have achieved success in their real estate business. So this may surprise you, but I rarely have strong calls to action anywhere in this group. I truly am dedicated to leading with value and letting that take care of itself for the most part. Now, obviously, if you're creating content, you're leading with your knowledge and your value and giving people the opportunity to see how much you know and how beneficial it would be to work with you specifically versus any of the other hundreds or thousands of agents in your market. Differentiating yourself is one of the biggest tasks that we have as realtors. As you know, I forget the exact percentage, but a substantial portion of buyers and sellers work with the first agent that they meet. So how do you get in front of them first? And this is a fantastic way to do it. A lot of people have joined my group when they are months to years out in their search. That's not to say that hot and ready people have not become members and I haven't converted them to clients, because I have. But you're able to build an extremely strong pipeline on top of getting business now by using some very simple methods. And it's all based around leading with value. And I can't stress that enough. There should be no sales pitches. There should be no pressure. People are here to learn. And when they're ready, when you've added enough value and education to their lives, they will reach out. I promise you that. And I'm going to say this again just to make sure it hits home. You do not want to be peppering people with calls to action. Call me for more information. Call me. Send me a message. You simply want to be a resource for them so that when they're ready, they will have already trusted you to the point and appreciated the fact that you haven't reached out to them directly. So on that note, never DM anybody without their permission. If somebody leaves a comment on one of your posts, instead of DMing them directly, simply reply back and ask, is it okay to send you whatever they're asking for via DM? And every single time that I've done that, they've said yes, number one. And most of the time I've gotten thank yous for asking permission to reach out and enter their world instead of just bombing it away. So in a nutshell, don't pepper people with calls to action. You can use them from time to time, but make sure that you have added significant value and that it makes sense to ask them to reach out, not on every piece of content. And make sure you're not reaching out directly without asking permission first. Now, the biggest tactic that I've used to convert people in my group into clients without having them reach out first, and to be totally honest with you, most of my clients who have come from this Facebook group have reached out directly without any call to action, without anything whatsoever. They've reached out totally out of the blue. But for those who might need a little bit of a nudge, once a month max, you should provide them an opportunity for them to share information with you specifically about their search. So I have two things that I do on a monthly basis, and I share it once a month on a regular cadence, that now is the time for you to sign up to receive listing alerts, to receive potentially off-market opportunities via a spreadsheet below. Again, they're not reaching out to you directly. They're leaving it in a place. I use Google Forms, which makes it super easy for me to put that information where you can then have it ported and connected automatically into your CRM, specifically if you have KV Core, which is awesome for that. Or you can simply enter it manually, which is not a huge lift. And the second component to that is market reports. And I'm not talking market updates, but specific market reports. Again, if you are a KV Core user like I am, since we get that for free here at EXP, that is built in and has become a valuable piece that people really appreciate. Getting that nudge once a month on exactly what's happened in a very easy to use way that's clickable, right? The market updates and reports that I personally create via video, they're not clickable. Sometimes people want to feel and be able to navigate and customize things. So that's a great opportunity that, again, I've gotten people's contact information for, which I have to be very clear. Again, I don't start reaching out to them directly. I don't start adding them to my newsletter unless they've asked for it. But It simplifies things. Once you have their contact information and their communication preferences, which I usually ask for in that Google form, then you're able to meet them where they are. A lot of agents try to change the medium of communication. If somebody reaches out via direct message on Facebook, don't immediately push them for a phone call. If they reach out via a phone call, don't start texting them. You need to find out how they prefer to communicate and meet them on their playing field. If you meet them where they are and you have a good conversation rolling, then you can start to push to the next level. We all know that getting people on the phone or on Zoom, which is even better, ends up putting that face to name. It gives you that human interaction that simply typing does not do. So again, make sure you stick with them where they reached out to you initially until you have a good conversation rolling, and then simply ask them, how do they prefer to communicate? Via this way, via phone call? You tell me, and I'm happy to communicate in your style and your preference. And last but not least, the absolute best thing that you can do is engage with the souls who are brave enough to comment and be a part of your group, an active member in your group, asking questions, posting their own posts. Engage with them, encourage them, and that will in turn not only get you back on that Facebook recommendations list, which we talked about, and how to grow your group, but people will appreciate that more than you could ever imagine. And it also ends up being a snowball effect. Once people see how you respond when somebody asks what might seem like a silly question, they'll feel encouraged to ask their own questions. Once they see that you're helpful, that you're not sarcastic or condescending in your response. So that is a huge component to these groups, is that you are an accommodating, helpful moderator who's there for them, not for you, but make it abundantly clear that you're there to serve them. And by default, they will start reaching out to you because you are the only option who hasn't done all of those things that other agents typically do that bother them to no end. So that's it. Once you have your group created, you've grown it a little bit, you can start to use some of these conversion tactics. But again, I have to be abundantly clear with you. Most of the time I've had people reach out to me directly, out of the blue, who haven't filled out any of those Google forms I mentioned, who haven't posted, who haven't commented. There are way more lurkers than there are engagers. So if you have a small group, or if you're not getting a ton of engagement, do not get discouraged. Stay the course, maybe up your consistency or your frequency of posting content. Again, personally, I end up doing 3 pieces of video content every week and also 3 engaging posts to space that in between. So it keeps people on the group. It keeps their eyeballs on the content I'm putting out, and in turn has exploded my business substantially in the just over 6 months that I've had my group active. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out or drop them down in the comments below. And again, I couldn't have done all of this without the training and the tools that I had for free for becoming a member of the Wolfpack here at eXp Realty. So if you want to talk about that at all, if you're interested in learning exactly how you can get all of these free tools that I got and replicate and follow the blueprint, simply click the Calendly link down below, book a call with me for 15 minutes. Happy to talk you through it, and we can take things one step at a time. I appreciate you checking out this series, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one.